First off, I don't care what you people say. Never follow rules. I'm a trendsetter anyway. Okay, I march to the beat of my own drum. They say I need rules in my life. Well, I got some. That's one. Kill the competition. Two. Be a loyal dog. Three. And if they snitching on your man, send them to the mall. Four. When you party, go hard till you hit the floor. Five. If you didn't see me do it, what the hell you asking for? Welcome to my world. SINA.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is the Sunday night live stream. We are live every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on the YouTube, on Twitch under blackout_AD, and on Facebook under the Big Llama Show Facebook page. But again, this show is the Big Llama Show featuring Blackout AD. So let's bring on our co-host extraordinaire, Blackout AD. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you this fine evening?
What's going on, Mama?
Yeah, you know, I'm hanging in there, man. I had a great week, good weekend.
Nice.
You know, did the things that I like to do. So I'm excited, man. How are you doing, man? How was your week?
Long week. Moved, worked. So it's been quite an eventful week, but we made it.
I was gonna ask you the background, because I've been watching the pre-Llama show. The background looks different where you are. So I'm assuming you either moved locations or moved houses. So you're in completely new digs, huh?
Yeah, new place. Got to get the green screen over here. I don't like the plain background, but
it's all good, man. It's all good. Before we get started on anything, I do want to shout out, obviously, your team, right? The Blackout team has been working. So I just wanted to share my screens real quick and just, you know, guys, make sure you guys go to the YouTube channel, blackout.gg or blackout.gg. There you will find episodes of the pre-Llama show. So the show that airs just before this one. You know, it's a great show with Roman 2 Raw and Blackout AD. And we've also got the late nights with Birdie and AD. That is also happening on Blackout GG on YouTube. They've been putting in work, guys. There's some episodes up. I think they're up to 3 episodes each, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So, no, I mean, this is great. This is great because, like I said, it's a completely different discussion. You know, obviously mine is catered to a little bit more on the entertainment side, but you guys run the gamut. So I wanted to just take an opportunity to show and let people know to go to that channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you support my channel. Support these guys as well. They're doing great work, and the conversation is fascinating. It goes from all kinds of stuff, and I'm there. So I mean, AD, you want to give your plug?
No. I didn't really want to plug it, but yeah, definitely go check out what we're doing. It's good work, man. It's good work. We're practicing. We're getting better. We're grinding. It's good that we're actually staying consistent with it. Today was a opportunity where maybe we probably would have missed the episode, and we got it done earlier than normal. So it's just we're working, man.
Yeah. No,
you know, Llama's the king of promo. This guy, it's not as bad as Hercules honey dicking me from his channel.
That was bad. That was really bad.
It's also you were also bad. I forgot what. I don't remember exactly what you did, but you did something. I was like, Llama's just as bad as Hercules. What are they doing right now?
Oh, I think I put something in the chat about. Oh man, yeah, no. Herc was funny because he sent you a note like, hey, I put out a little something. And you're like, we got to watch it. We got to see this thing. And it was just Herc merch on your channel.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, man. He got you good on that one.
I mean, man. Free promo, even from your friends.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But no, I honestly, the reason I wanted to shout you guys out and, again, promo the channel is, you know, I am honored. I am honored that my name is on one of your shows.
You know, I heard you say that.
Show. I'm truly honored because it's crazy.
It made me want to change it. I was like, that's gross. I saw actually on the comment. I think you commented on one of the videos.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy makes me want to change it. Now I don't even want to. Oh, I'm so honored. Dude. No, we're not doing it because your name, dude. We're just doing it because it just so happens to be before. I mean, we meant you. It happened today. I was like liking the comments. I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to rebrand, formerly known as the Pre Llama Show.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Like I said, as long as it bears the llama name, I'm gonna be proud of it. And even if it doesn't, it's still good entertainment. So guys, check it out no matter what the name is gonna be. I just like the fact I can look up llama, Big Llama Show, and then I find Pre Llama out there too. So
yeah. Shout out to Bird and Roman though. They're both
sure.
putting in some good work right now. And
yeah, no,
they're motivating me, honestly.
I mean, and it's scheduled. So you guys are scheduling it on the same times for the drops and then for the recordings, and it really does build the audience. So I look forward to seeing what you guys are going to talk about. So, and that's the other thing I wanted to highlight it because it is different. It is different from what we talk about here, where they go. And again, it's just a difference of what I covered versus what you guys cover. But you guys like run the gamut of a lot of topics: UFC, hip hop, all kinds of current stuff, and it's really fun. It's a fun show, and I think it's podcast format. You guys don't really work on the comments, but no, it's fun, man. It's fun to watch. So guys, if you guys want to support him, make sure you go to that channel, Blackout GG.
Yeah,
so
appreciate that.
Let's get to the chat. Let's see who's here in the chat. We got our friend, Mr. Walter Walsh, Mr. Birdie himself. What's up, my llama peeps? Or the father of the bird, right? The father of the bird. Roman 2 Raw is here. Thank you, sir. Jay Birdie is here. AD, how did we mention the Migos doing a reunion? They do it at the BET Awards. # late night pod. Is Birdie in New York?
Yeah, he is.
Still?
Yeah,
okay.
Funeral.
Oh, I thought he was there on Pleasure, but
it was not.
Okay. My condolences to whomever you've lost. I don't know, but I love the logo that he's got on there. Let's see, Roman 2 AD back in the new studio.
Yeah, I really don't like this.
I mean, it's
now
just
that I'm
different.
Staring at it right now, I don't like it. But I also don't like it on my stream because I'm so used to having the green screen. Everything just flows.
Yeah. So it seems brighter though. Like, are you closer? Like, how is the setup closer? Is that what it is, or
no? It's just
because it's white walls.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, hey, it looks clean to me, man. But I'm sure you'll get the green screen back there and everything. We back to the old AD. So, all right. So, on my channel, if you guys haven't seen it, I posted the reaction to Cobra, I think on Friday, the 1986 movie starring Sylvester Stallone. I had a lot of fun with it. There's a Mortal Kombat reference somewhere in there. And I was just very playful with the video. Like, it was just fun, and had a lot of clips in it, which I'm kind of gravitating towards those clips a little bit more and more. But no, I had fun with it. So if you guys haven't checked it out, do so. But also the Nacho Libre one is growing, man. 1.2K, lots of views. Over the course of this month, the highest viewed video I have on my channel. So that's a great one. So we're going to redo that. We're going to bring the guys back in AD, add them in the fold.
There goes Llama trying to recreate the wheel. I knew once. I was like, as soon as
it was fun.
But when we were talking about doing content, you're like, "Oh, we got to do a group one." I was like, "Yep," because the Nacho Libre one's growing right now.
Exactly.
All Llama's other videos aren't as. Which I'm curious to that. Now that I'm actually posting videos, like recently, obviously on the channel, and you're watching it grow. Like, I'm curious about your videos, like why some of them do the different like they fluctuate so much. I don't know. I guess it's kind of just like the stuff of YouTube.
No, I know why. Honestly, so in the movie reaction world, right? There are the surefire hits, and you can look them up. They're all there. The biggest channels are venturing off to smaller movies, but they already have a built-in audience, right? So they're getting their normal views or a little bit less. You can tell. But since I've seen a bunch of movies, and all the big popular ones that people are reacting to, I'm doing lesser or smaller known movies. So it's just a matter of sometimes you catch fire, sometimes you find one that like people really, really do enjoy. And then other times it's just, the movie is pretty like niche about, like a certain segment of people who maybe don't watch reaction videos like that. Now, the people who are commenting, it's the same comment. So it's they're enjoying it, it's fun, it's entertaining, but it's not like the wide net, right? Like a RRR video or something that, got 37,000 likes or whatever, or views. But I'm okay with it because honestly, it's fun. It's a fun, and it's movies I want to watch. My only regret is the 007 ones aren't doing as well as I thought, but I'm invested now. I'm 7 movies in, so I got to keep going. There are like 20 of those movies. So I'm going to keep putting those in on rotation as I normally do. But yeah, that's probably why. Because again, I'm not doing the Back to the Futures. I'm not doing the Shawshank Redemption. I'm not doing the big movies that everybody like. And honestly, the workaround is finding someone who hasn't seen the movie and then sitting with them, right? We did that for Back to the Future and it worked, had a couple thousand hits on those. But it's hard because the recording schedule is pretty much limited to Monday or Tuesday, and then after that it's editing the rest of the week. So it's kind of hard to get a couple extra ones in there. But as it is right now, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do for Monday's session, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah. But also, I mean, from what I'm seeing, it benefits like the multiple uploads a week because like you definitely get, I mean, I'm doing it like back-to-back days, so it's not as much of like a gap in between the 2 videos, but you definitely see like people coming from the video that I posted the day before to the new video. So
yeah. Oh, I mean,
something like that, I guess.
Yeah, when I was able to drop 2 a week, their growth was a little bit more steady, and so yeah, it is. The more you can put out, the better. Even my short videos, the shorts, some hit really, really well, some don't, and so it's okay. I'm like I said, I've come to grips with the schedule that I can put out, and so I'm happy with it. Now it's just again watching movies that I enjoy, and really that's the other part that I've realized on editing, because sometimes I'll do that. I will research and go, okay, let's see which one I can get a bigger hit on. But the editing for a movie that maybe was okay, right, that I wasn't that excited about, is like brutal. It's like I want to not do this anymore when that happens. But so I gotta find a movie that's interesting that I want to watch.
You just need to start outsourcing your editing.
I do, but it's expensive, man. It's a couple $100, I think, a video. I wish I made that much.
Definitely not.
No, it's
if you go on Fiverr, you can find like decent editors for probably cheaper than that, especially for your videos. Like it's not like that intensive in terms of like
no
extra shit. You know what I mean? They would have to do.
No, and they're pretty much pre-made and cut, ready to edit. It's not you don't have multiple sources. It's one source, one audio. You just cut.
Yeah.
So
I think that the hardest part would find somebody that like gets your same essence.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
I was gonna say we got the dog pound happening over there. Yeah. It's all right, man. It's all good. All right, so let's see. So Birdie says here, rip to Grandma Bird. Okay, my condolences, Birdie. I hope the family's good. All right, so I didn't mean to bring it down, but I just wanted to acknowledge Birdie's right in there. Okay, so I went to see The Flash. You probably have read the spoilers, or you've read the leaks or whatever, or have you not?
Flash, yeah, I have.
Yeah. All right, so a side story before I get into The Flash. So went to the movies, took the family, took Little Llama and his girlfriend, Big Poppy, Angie, and myself. We all went. So I got to get popcorns for everybody. Got to get drinks and everything. So what happened is they were like, "Sir, if you just spent like I think it was like $3 more, you get more stuff." Right? They're like, "There's this new pack that we got." I'm like, "All right, whatever." And you get a Dominic Toretto You get a Dominic Toretto Charger
Yeah.
for an extra $4 or something, and more popcorn with refills. So they're giving away this stuff. They're like practically like, please get it off our inventory. So I have Dom's Charger. It's actual popcorn holder that they gave me. But
listen, crazy. I definitely seen that, and I was like, "This kind of cool." I wanted the Spider-Man ones are pretty nice.
Yeah,
but that's funny that they're trying to get rid of them. I wonder how many they made.
I mean, there was a bunch. There was a bunch behind the counter, and what the funny part was, I saw a kid get it, right. I saw a dad with his young son, and I'm like, this poor schmuck, man. He just shelled out $25-$30 for this stupid Dominic Toretto car, right? And I'm not knowing anything. And then when I get up there, like it literally was $4 more, and I got more popcorn, more drink. Everything was there that we were going to order anyway. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll take it, man. It made me super happy. I was like, I'm going home with the Dominic's Charger. It doesn't take much to please me at the movie theaters, but we did go to the shitty theater. We went to the really bad one down the street. So that kind of held me over. But The Flash, oh my God, it is not as good as advertised. I will say that the CGI was horrific. I mean, terrible. Like the first opening sequence, horrific, terrible. In terms of CGI, the story though, I loved it. I loved the story. I loved the cameos. I loved the character. I enjoyed the movie, but if you're into the CGI stuff, it was mid, way mid.
Now, are you just saying that, or are you just saying that because it's flopping?
No. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I really liked the movie. Like I had fun. I'm glad I went. But if I really look at the movie, I'm like, and it's not even like, oh, let's find something to pick at the movie. No, like the first opening sequence, I had watched a video from my friend Jem Mint. He said he almost walked out of the movie, which I'm like, that's a little bit over the top. I don't think I've ever walked out of a movie. But he described the whole first opening sequence, that it has PlayStation 2 graphics, and I'm like, it can't be that bad. You're like over exaggerating. No, he wasn't kidding. It was that horrific in terms of there was like flying babies and shit, like up and down, and the building was blowing up, and there were just like these fake prosthetic looking babies, like CGI babies everywhere, and I'm like, this is really bad. And then there's a whole thing about how they do their cameos. Obviously, they didn't get all of the actors, right? So a lot of them are CGI characters that look like The Rock in the Scorpion King characters, like that bad when they're doing the recreations in CGI. So it was bad. Like I'm not even I wouldn't bullshit you on that. I will tell you straight up. I mean,
everybody. I've heard a lot of people say that, but nobody's really said it's like, they said it's bad, but it's not like terrible. I don't know.
No,
I mean, I haven't seen it, and I honestly, from hearing it, I don't want to see it either. Like it's one of those movies that seems like it's gonna be, and obviously we heard, I mean, for months we heard it was gonna be a good movie, and like people are receptive to it, but what's happening in the box office, I wonder if like all the Ezra Miller like outside of things had to have affected numbers, because like the reviews aren't terrible. Like all the reviews I'm seeing are giving it like kind of good praise, and like saying it's at least a good movie to go watch in the theaters.
No, and that's what I'm saying. The story was great. I was smiling, the whole movie. I was enjoying, everything about the movie, and I liked the story. It just, if you're looking for, the CGI, it just was really bad. But it's not the greatest comic book movie. It has flaws, right? But it was just fun. Like that's the thing. Like I forgot, and this is, I guess, a credit to Ezra Miller. I guess I forgot all about his issues. Like sitting down, like coming into it, I'm like, oh, Ezra Miller, he's got issues, whatever. Sat down, watched the movie. I got lost in his characters. He has, obviously, there's two of them. That's not a spoiler. That's from the commercials. But so yeah, I got lost in his acting. I got into the character itself. There were some touching moments. It was fun. It was just a fun movie. Just it seemed like like again, the cameos that were there that they used that they purposely used CGI for, it just looked really, really bad. And it just kind of like, ooh. But I love the shit out of it though. See, and that's the weird part about this whole thing. The cameos were amazing. Like I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I was one of the rare times where I actually talked in a movie was through a couple of times I see these cameos. Then the CGI, when we broke it down, we're like, yeah, they didn't look really good, but it was still fun to watch, right? So I don't know. I mean, it's not anywhere close to Across the Spider-Verse. Like people were like, oh,
but
yeah,
you can't you going into that, you can't even compare those two.
no.
They're two different. They're in two different leagues. Like you got to we also have to understand like how much effort did they really put in the CGI? Like this movie's doesn't mean anything for the DCU going forward.
No,
Like
no.
from what it sounds like, it doesn't even like rewrite it how they said they were. Like it kind of does, but it doesn't. This is just a movie that they had to put out to kind of recoup because they lost. I mean, think about it, they lost the Batwoman movie. They lost a lot of things. So
Yeah. Well,
gearing for the new James Gunn era, like they just threw this movie out. Like that's what it seems like, honestly.
it gives you a reason. I mean, in the story, it gives you a reason to see somebody new playing a character. So the reset makes sense, but it's not like, you know, the major shift in the entire storyline. It's like, okay, we've got multiverses now, and it's the same thing as Doctor Strange. You've got a reason now that you might see a different version of Captain America or a different version of Superman or a different, you now know why the character will change the actor. But you know, again, that's what I got out of the movie. Is like, this is just an excuse to sort of say, okay, we're going to change who they are. And then this movie serves as just like the MacGuffin, right? Like here's why we do it. But the story was good. Like I said, you know, I found it interesting.
Flashpoint. It's not like they. Also, it's not like they gave like an original. They gave us the most popular Flash storyline they could give us. I mean,
Yeah.
again, like the movie just seems. It felt like it was gonna be better than it was. From like before the movie came out, and then once the movie came out, like kind of died, and you could see like all over the internet, like it's flopping, it's not making money, blah blah blah, and like people are like making it seem like this is how I feel, at least, that people are making it seem like this is their end game. You know, like oh, it was supposed to be really good. It was supposed to be, but you look at if you just look at the situation, like, of course this movie flopped. Like, why? After a while, you got all these Ezra Miller problems. You already got James Gunn. I mean, think about it. The James Gunn thing had to have been happening for at least a year plus in terms of like getting the deal done, like going in that direction. So they've kind of had an idea of like, I mean, I think that's why all the things got canceled early on, because all those things got canceled before the James Gunn announcement. So they have to have been gearing up for like the revamp of like DCEU and like them actually trying to not save, but like get these properties some good movies, because obviously James Gunn, I believe in James Gunn's direction, especially like with a chance of making like a lot of these properties. I mean, obviously he wants to write the Superman. Like I'm excited to see what they're gonna do, but I just think they needed to make some money back because they're losing, and they just put it out, because otherwise they could have just scrapped it. And like that's the thing, like the movie felt like it was gonna be good because like, why are they still putting this out? You know, any other time they would have probably, I mean, all the problems that were going on, all behind the scenes things, they would have scrapped this a long time ago. So, I mean, for what it is, I guess it's a success. But I guess for the type of movie, obviously, a flop, if you will.
Well, and I would say to a lot of the reviewers, right, and the people coming out of screenings, like that hit their credibility a lot, because honestly, they were hyping this to be, because again, I think the Spider-Verse came out around the same time in terms of the screenings, and they came out saying, if you like the Spider-Verse, you're going to love this one. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's that good. Like that's a lot of the, and then early projections of the box office came out, and a bunch of them instantly were like, nah, now you see why. And I'm like, dude, you were the one hyping this movie up for like an entire week, saying it was amazing and you're going to love it. And it's like, now because the box office flops, like, stand by it. Like I said, I went by and saw it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It had bad CGI, and so what? I still like the movie. I still like the story, and that's it. Like that's all. That's all I can say about it. Like I'm not going to be there and tell you that it was the most amazing superhero movie ever. It's something that was tried and true. It was seemed very convenient, but it was fun. I liked it. So, I mean, that's all I can say on that stuff. But I'm glad I went to see it. I'm glad I didn't see it in IMAX. That's for sure. If I would have seen it in IMAX, I think I would have been more critical of the CGI or been like a little bit. But it was fun, man. But you're not missing a whole lot. Like the spoilers were the spoilers. But so I think the next one up is Indiana Jones, which I don't think you're going to go see that. Most of the late night audience and the folks that watch probably aren't going to go see that, but I'm definitely going to go see it. But again, I'm not going to the big fancy theater. I'm just going to go up the street just to check it out, see it, have fun with it. The reviews are mixed on that one as well. So, but I enjoy those movies. That's a big difference for me. But that's what's happening in my world for the next week or so. It's just been crazy, man. It's like this week was interesting. Mama Llama had some medical procedures she had to get done. She was in the hospital for over the overnight, Friday going into Saturday, or Thursday going into Friday. So I didn't sleep much, but man, I treated myself this weekend, man. I went to the movies. I went to the arcade. I bought myself a Nintendo Switch, man. I'm having a great time this weekend.
Nice.
But I do want to start streaming more. I don't know, man. It's like I want to stream more, but at the same time, I just feel like if I'm not editing, then I'm wasting time. But I don't know. I'm going to do like you're inspiring me. I'm going to put a schedule together and say, okay, I'm going to try to do these things because I kind of want to do it. I got everything ready to go. And I keep thinking editing has to get done. And so I want to stream though. I do want to stream a little bit more. I've been playing some games and having some fun.
I mean, editing does have to get done in terms of like, bread and butter, but obviously streaming is just another component that I think for you got to balance it in terms of like just when you have your couple hours of gaming or whenever you game in that night.
Yeah. Oh no, I think that's it. That like I'm playing anyway. Like I'm editing up to a point, and then I'm going, okay, how much of this can I get done in the next hour and a half, 2 hours? If it's a long ways out, I go, okay, I'm cutting it and going into tomorrow because otherwise it gets stale, right? So I'll game for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm thinking, oh, I should have streamed that. I should have just been on. I just turned it on and said, let's go. And so I want to try to get on with a little bit more and just have some fun, man. That's all. Because I'm playing a lot. I'm playing a lot at night and just not streaming. And so I want to add that to the repertoire, I guess. Are you playing the new updates on the new Call of Duty? Have you played any of those maps?
My game's been fucking up all week.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You played a new game, right? You that X Defiant?
Yeah, I'm actually super excited for that game, and it kind of made me bored with Call of Duty, I guess. Like I definitely was after my game's been fucking up, so I haven't been able to play COD since I moved into this house. I don't know what happened. I've been trying to figure that out literally all day. That's why I didn't stream early today because I have nothing to play. Like I was like, I don't know what to play. Like I don't feel like playing Halo. I'm not trying to download an old Call of Duty. Like I did download Cold War. I was like, I'm not gonna play this. Like, no way.
You're slumming it.
So I don't know. I got to figure something out. I might play Pokemon or something for streams like coming up. But definitely X Defiant was a good time. I'm gonna try to cut up maybe. I have a couple gameplays out of I streamed probably like 10 plus hours, maybe like 12, 13 hours of the beta. So I got some footage. I'm thinking about putting on my channel actually. So we'll see, man. Okay. The movement was fun. The game was fun. Yeah, and it's supposed to come out. I think pretty like by the end of the summer. They said so.
Yeah.
Again, it's giving me something to look forward to because with how COD is, if I can't fix it, it's like I'm not playing it the way it's lagging. I'm like, damn, bro, look, I don't have nothing to play then. If I can't play COD, I really don't have no other games to play.
Well, I think you mentioned like because you were playing X Defiant and then you went to I think you streamed Call of Duty or you were playing it, and I think you were talking about how the lag feels, but the gameplay for the other one was just smooth.
Yeah.
Like yeah, so I think you mentioned that. I thought that was an interesting point that you brought up because I saw because I've been watching right. I've been watching you stream and play the game, and yeah, it seemed like a faster, smoother running game than the current Call of Duty setup. So
Yeah, but
um,
that's just because Call of Duty was lagging. But the game itself is just a colorful game, and I
yeah,
mean, it's more cartoonish, so it's easier to make it look more polished. I mean,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
trying to make a realistic looking game. It's gonna be duller than like what they're doing at X Defiant. But again, like everything on X Defiant right now feels good in terms of like the gameplay. I mean,
yeah.
all weekend you see people like using the it's a COD killer. Oh, this is gonna be the COD killer. Which after playing it and seeing like people's reactions, it could be. It just depends on what the launch is gonna be like. And I know a lot of like behind the scenes things because a podcast that I watch, a guy's a developer on X Defiant, and he's been talking about it for obviously since he's been working on it. So I always, I mean, I got early access to like the alpha because I've been listening to him like talk about it. I'm getting on stuff early with in terms of that, but he's an ex COD pro, and there's another one ex COD pro that works on the game as well, and they're like, you could tell their mission is to like bring what COD felt like when they first started to a new game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think it is gonna drop with like a ranked mode off rip, and it is gonna have. I mean, the alpha or there was like an alpha, which is the one I got on. There was something that happened after the alpha, and then what we played this weekend. The thing in between was a ranked playlist, and it was only for like streamers. So it's interesting. Like they're setting up for a good launch. So I don't know,
Yeah.
man. COD might have some competition, especially with what they're doing. I mean, this COD was supposed to be a 2-year cycle, but now they're just splitting it up and making it Modern Warfare 3, which to me it just seems kind of like if it was supposed to be a 2-year cycle, just keep it that. Don't try to make it seem like it's a new game just for us to buy a new game. Like you literally
Yeah.
told us this game's gonna be played for 2 years, and now all of a sudden you're coming out with Modern Warfare 3 when every other year or when you do like these every year things, you switch between
Mm-hmm.
Treyarch and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sledgehammer, and it's like so you're just reskinning the game and gonna sell it to us again when you already planned on having us play it for 2 years anyways. So
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I if it's simple, I mean, I tried to download it and I was just late to the game at that point. But my thing is, don't overcomplicate things, right? Make the modes easy to get into, But uh, I know it has to satisfy both hardcore gamers, right, and randoms like me. But yeah, it looked like a lot of fun, the new one. But every game is now the COD killer, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And
no,
no,
no
I'm saying
shot.
like something new comes up, people start saying, "Oh, this is going to kill COD," and I'm like,
Not like this. Not like this.
"Okay, so this is a real deal.
No.
It might be
Yeah,
legit."
not like this.
Okay, okay. So
This is like the first time I'm telling you because you got it's literally what's missing between COD and like kind of like I don't know how to explain. It's like a mix between COD and like Apex, I guess, in terms of
oh,
like
okay.
the
Yeah.
cartoonish aspect of it.
Hmm.
I think I don't know. This is definitely a game that's in COD's lane. Like the past couple years you had Fortnite, Apex, these battle royales, but those aren't really in COD's realm. I
No.
mean, I guess you can do the Warzone thing, but those aren't really in COD's realm. But this game specifically is gonna be the arena style first person shooter. So this one's gonna compete directly with COD. And honestly, the way it felt just in the beta, like if they do good things, and they're saying that they're gonna drop new maps. There's gonna be, I think, like new weapons. There's gonna be like every 45 days a new season. Like they got this thing mapped out. So that's why I think people are saying the COD killer because like the potential is there for this game to really make waves. I mean, especially in the FPS genre.
Yeah. I'm just I get ticked off that maps get moved around like the 24/7 maps get moved around and that the different modes that you're playing get either moved, swapped, You can't find them anymore. And it's kind of, that's the annoying part with Call of Duty, is like you find a rhythm and you go, okay, I really like playing these types of matches or this setup. And then they get an update and it's like, okay, that's not here anymore. And it's like, that's the annoying part. But I know they're trying to push their new maps and everything else. And I ventured and did some different game modes on the new one. So it was interesting. It was fun, but I got bored pretty quick. To be honest, it was kind of a lot of the same. And then when people, at least for me, because I'm a novice, right? When you walk into a new map and you're getting annihilated like every spawn, you're just annoyed. It's like I'm done. But people figure that stuff out, and I know it's all strategy and everything. But that's what kind of gets me bored. Is like if there's a game mode that like I just can't get, I just can't have fun with it, right? So it happens a lot. Just to acknowledge, we had Big Poppy came in. He said, "What's up, Big Poppy? Thank you for joining us." And Roman giving us an update on the BET Awards. He said Offset and Quavo performed together at the BET Awards, showing they squashed their beef. And rest in peace to Takeoff. Okay, yeah, I was watching that before the show. I was actually enjoying. I think they were doing just like a retrospective, right? They had all the hip hop artists come out. I think I came in here to get ready for the show when Redman was on. Just after Keith Murray.
They brought all the old people out for the old people awards. I don't know why BET still does these awards. Like, it's not as they remember like MTV awards, like early 2000s, like those shits were popping. It's not like that anymore.
No.
Like what are we doing? It's the same thing. I mean, obviously, like the Oscars and like the Grammys are kind of like they're. I mean, I guess BET as well. Like it's ingrained in our culture to have these awards, but like for BET, I feel like they need to do something different when it comes to these awards or these kind of ceremonies. Like revamp it a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't know if the old ceremony model works as well, especially with like these newer hip hop artists. That's why I think this year like they got lucky that it's kind of like the 50th. What is it? The 50th?
I think so.
Of hip hop.
Yeah, 50th anniversary of hip hop and all that
but,
stuff.
Yeah. Like that's a big moment. You're gonna get obviously eyes on it because, I mean, 50 years of hip hop. It's gonna bring some attention. But like, what do they do next year? Like,
right.
Right. How do you keep these shows relevant? Like nobody's really checking for it. Like even this. Like I wouldn't have known if they didn't say that in the chat. That would have not crossed my screen. Maybe the Migos thing, just because, Takeoff died and these guys were breaking up as a group beforehand. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, my problem is like the performance of it. Like that's the hardest thing that hip hop artists, at least from what I used to like, watching them in concerts and stuff, is that it's always 16 heads, singing the song, and then they let the crowd sing with you. But in this case, when it's on TV, it's hard because they got to edit.
Translate, yeah,
it's hard to translate. You got to edit every other word. It's just annoying that because it's a good song and you love it. You're like, oh, I love this song, and then it's like, and it's cut off every other word, and you're like, oh, damn, it sounds like shit. And then again, if they don't do it right, I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard one to, but I think if they polish that piece up, it would be a better show. But it's still kind of not shitty, but I just think it's not as well polished, and it's not made for TV, man. It's hard to watch, but yeah, man, I'm not a fan of I'm a fan of a couple of award shows, but like having 16 different award shows that give the same awards, it's kind of annoying. And then none of the big artists are there. Like Beyonce won like 6 awards, she's not there. So they're booing when she, they say her name, and I'm like, what did you expect? Like, was she gonna be there? Who knows, right? Like,
nobody cares about winning that. That's the thing.
No.
Like, I don't know. And why would you give so many awards to somebody who's not there too? Obviously it's Beyonce, but like, come on, let's think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think these award shows that they're starting to hurt, especially the music ones, when the artists aren't showing up. Like that, and for good reason. A lot of artists said, "I'm not coming back. I'm not doing this again." Even the Grammys. I know there's a couple that will not show up to the Grammys, and they've won, like 10, 15 Grammys, but which is sad, right? You would think they'd all be there, but I don't know, man. They don't market it the way that it should be. But so yeah, BET Awards are on right now. I hope if you're watching them, enjoy. I was enjoying the medley that they put together, but um, it was kind of a throwback. But my kids were like looking at me like, these songs, and they didn't know them. So
Yeah.
it was fun, man. It was fun to watch.
I don't know. I think that again, these award shows need a revamp. I don't know exactly what they would do to replace them, but again, it's not like I was thinking about this earlier because it was like coming on my timeline in terms of like there's people there that I don't know. I'm like, what are these like new artists that I haven't heard of this whole time, but they're prominent on the BT Awards? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never even heard of you.
Right. And you're in tune.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and they're showcasing you like, like maybe I'm just ignorant to like who you are, but to me, it just shows like the level of like people that are probably actually there. Like these are the people you're putting all over. It was like 3 or 4 posts where I was like, I have no clue who this person is, but they're making it seem like, oh, this person just walked the red carpet. Like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
Like,
who's that? Well, I used to pride myself in at least knowing the people that were walking the red carpets, right? And at least knowing 80% of who was up there. Now I am in old man's land where it's just like, who's that? Like I feel so old saying shit like that, but it's true. And it's only, and even my kids, like they used to show me all the new music. They're like, oh, Dad, check this out. Hey, check this one out. And now there's so much new that drops, and so many, like they're like half the time I hear it, and then I don't remember the names. I don't know anything. So now, like I was watching it, and they're like showing people in the crowd, and my wife and I were like, who's that? Why should we know who that is? Like, and they kept showing the same people. I'm like, ah, damn, I'm so old. I gotta stop watching this shit.
yeah.
But at least I
didn't see one like big star that I was like, oh, they went. Like there was not one, and I'm sure like probably I didn't see everything, but obviously like the Migos were there, so it's like obviously some people are there, but
yeah,
just in terms of like how they're promoting it, like the people there, it was like, again, they need to change. Me and Gabe were actually, funny enough, we were talking about it. We didn't even mention the BET Awards, but we were talking about hip hop and just in general. It's like, it just seems like this was the first year in 30 years that hip hop hasn't had a #1 album, right? Like, It just seems that the hip hop that's going on right now is not. I don't want to be like, how you guys were like hip hop's dead in like 2000, but I don't want to say that, but I do feel like in this moment, like there's not that many. Like you got these young artists who are rapping about like a lot of street shit, but it's not connecting with the masses like it was before. Like it's got its audience and it's got the people that like it. Of course, it's still a popular genre, and also like somebody was even mentioning like the emo rap. It's like nobody wants to listen to emo rap. That's why they're seeing a spike of like Afro beats and stuff because it's a little bit more positive, a little bit more upbeat, And there was another point that I brought up in today's show, but how if you go to a club right now, they'll play the TikTok songs for a little bit, right? Like obviously they'll play the clip that people know from a TikTok song. They'll get the people hyped for a little bit, and then you'll see like things like slow down. But then they'll play like a song from like 2000 or like even like 2008. Like they'll play like something that's a little bit more groovy from like when I was younger, probably, and people will dance and like connect to it a little bit more just because in my personal opinion, it's the feeling. Like there's a different feeling. Like you wanted to really, I don't know. The songs were made for the club, were made for those social environments. And then you got now like the songs that are popping are these TikTok songs that people know the 20 seconds that they put on their video and they're like, oh, I love that. And then the rest of the song really isn't doing it for them. It's not really the greatest song. It's just like that part was catchy enough to go on these trends. And it's not, the club scene, it really is like when you go out, it's a lot of old music. Like oh shit, the songs that are like, even not like, all right, so like in the kitchen, we'll have like a radio going on, and you'll see like you'll see like people. I always make fun of like these guys. They all play the same songs every week,
Yep.
like literally all day, every day. Like, and it'll be like a rotation. Like everybody will get their chance to like hold the radio down and play their songs. But you just see the difference of like when I'm playing music, like you see like the young kids, the old people, like they're all rapping to it, they're singing to it. Like you can see the energy, and then like something like another kid will play song, some shit, and it'll be like these fucking TikTok shits. And it's like, yeah, they'll know it, but like you could just see they don't want to hear it. And then people are like, oh yeah, like I also think it has to do with like how you assemble the playlist. You know, I think that's a big part
Yeah.
to the vibe. But just in general, it's like there's not a lot of new songs that are like getting the people like really going in terms of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird time in music in general, but hip hop especially. And the fact that like 50 years of hip hop is just like almost like a growing pain in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Well,
I'm rambling, but I also
no,
don't know
no.
like if it's because I am getting older and I'm not as in tune with things, but also like for who I am just in general, like I am pretty in tune with a lot of stuff. And I'm not like
Yeah.
it's not like I'm like hating the new music. You know what I mean? If I find something I like, I enjoy it. I give it its props, but it's a lot harder than it was. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it has to do with the mainstream appeal. Like there were, there was a niche, right, of in the 90s and early 2000s, right, of underground rappers, right, underground, hip hop artists that were there underneath, and that the true guys who listened to a little bit of everything knew about these guys, right? And then there were those guys who were on the charts and had hits, and that again, it was popular and it was brought in, and it wasn't that they were selling out, it was just their music transcended, right? And it became the flavor and what you wanted to hear. Now, at least from what I'm seeing, is that a lot of it is still is homegrown stuff that is low, right? Low, but not appealing to anybody else. Like for me, I can't stand the repetitive nature of how many of the artists now are just saying the same shit over and over and over and over. Like for almost an entire verse, it's the same 3-5 words, and I'm like, it's annoying as hell, because I want to hear a story. I want to hear. And then if you're doing the hook, I could give a shit. You can repeat the hook 50 times. I don't care. But like, that's like the first verse is the same thing. And so for me, it's annoying. It's annoying and it sucks. Like I can't get into it. But it doesn't mean that they won't, again, it may be a lull, right? We're at a point where maybe we're not having those artists that are transcending, right? But it'll come back. It's cycles.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right? Like, or I can see, obviously I can see hip hop making a comeback, but I think it needs to go back to the form of like, not poetry, but like poetry-esque. It needs to go back to wordplay, and the creativity isn't. Even though it's weird to say, because like the technology's there, anybody can make music now. There's creative ways to make music now, and people are creatively making music, but it feels like the creativity is not really there. Like it's not like you were saying, like in your time, you had the underground hip hop, but it was touching people because it was really painting it was painting a picture of the struggle, as opposed of now, it's like they're using the rap to, and this is what we were talking about in the Llama show, but they're using the rap to paint, and not even paint, but just to depict like the beef and shit that's going on in the streets. But like before, it was more of like they were again painting it. They were giving you visuals through their words of what they're going through, but they weren't necessarily like they obviously street shit was happening, but it was just done in a more artistic way, as opposed to now it's like I'll smoke my ops, I'll put them in a blunt. Like they say the same shit over. Everybody's like using the same slang and like the same rhyme schemes, and like nobody's like trying to outdo each other in terms of like being like the next creative. Even like, I mean, you see like Drake, like when Drake hops on a wave, he is a little earlier than everybody else. But once people get on that wave, it's like they all sound like the same shit. Or I mean, and he does it too as well. Like when he sees a wave, it's like, all right, he'll hop on it, but he'll do it, obviously he'll do it in a creative
Yeah.
way. He'll give you like different things, but it's also like the Jersey shit that's going on right now. Lil Uzi Vert drops that I Want to Rock song, right? Has like
Oh, God, yeah.
that Jersey dance feel,
Yeah.
which in Jersey this has been going on, but now it hit a mainstream thing. Then you see Bad Bunny do it, where Bad Bunny drops the same style song, and I like that Bad Bunny actually brings Lil Uzi Vert onto the video to like showcase that he did get, he's like, yo, like you did it first now, but
Yeah.
now that's all you're gonna see. Watch in the next couple years, or next couple years, the next year or so, you're just gonna see Jersey mix dance beats, and they're gonna be done repetitive, the same. I mean,
Yep.
like these guys did it in a creative way, but I'm talking about like what's gonna come. It's gonna be a lot of repetitive shit, and there's gonna be a lot of like beef shit in these like Jersey beat shit, Jersey beat songs. I keep cursing. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, like when was it Travis Scott, right? Came out, everyone started sounding like him.
Yeah.
I found an interesting one. This guy named IDK, dude sounds just like Kanye, man. Like word style, vocal. Because I'm listening to it, like my son's listening to it, and we're in the car, and I'm like, Kanye drop a new album? Like, nah, this is IDK. I'm like, he sounds exactly like him. But I remember, again, this is the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and going into 2000s. You did not want to sound like anybody else, and if you did, like they call you out on it, like you're stealing my style, or you're stealing my and so that's why you had all of these different like sounds from again from the different regions and everything else. But if you sounded like Andre 3000, they would call you out, be like, oh, you're just trying to be like Andre 3000. Like that's not. But now again, they kind of sound all alike. They're doing the same. And listen, man, if they're making money, like that's the other thing too, right? Like people are paying for this shit, and they're self-promoting, they're self-producing, and if people are buying it, then more power to them. That's good. But I'm
it's
just
easy
not,
to say that,
I'm
but
not
it's
into
just
it.
like the art form like loses itself, like I don't know. There's no progression with it. I guess
No,
is the
you're
thing.
right.
Like in terms of like what you said. I keep saying like what the fuck, but what you said is very true. Like back in the day, you didn't want to sound like anybody. You didn't even want to have bars that were similar to another person because you didn't even want that. You didn't want people to be like, "Wow, that sounds like this," or "You're biting off of this guy."
Right.
But
Exactly.
now, again, it's kind of like technology gave everybody it's the same thing with podcasts, right? Like everybody has a podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's like technology gives everybody that in now, but it's almost like super like the most creative people will stand out through these times, but you're gonna get a lot of unoriginal shit in all aspects, in terms of podcasting, music. Like it's just so many people are doing it and they're just not that creative to make, like they might be able to make a song and like copy somebody's style and make and just recreate that, but they're not the creatives that's gonna reinvent what they're doing or come up with a new sound. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna, I mean, with all the people get with access to technology, just like you'll get the people that will make money off of it and it'll be okay. But is it like, I don't know how to explain. It's kind of hard. It's like the creativity in terms of like back in the day when somebody broke, when you heard of somebody, it was because their shit was so different. It was because their talent was there, like I don't know.
I'll say this: the one last rant on this stuff, and I can't stand it. Like and again, I think back to when I heard sampling for the first time, right? Like a song was sampled or a beat was sampled, and I'm like, all right, and they put their spin on it, or they did something to that beat. But now, like they're just rehashing and singing almost the same exact hook and beat of an old song from the early 2000s, and they're just like like they speed it up a little bit, or they like did the hook and then they like changed a word or two, which I can't stand. I'm like, is this Usher's song or is this your song? Right? Like, don't sing his whole verse and then like call it your own shit. Like that, I can't stand, because that's and I find myself saying the old person thing, which is, oh no, the original was better. You got to hear the original. But it's one thing if you sample it and you make it your own and make it something completely different, right? That's fine. I'm okay because that's hip hop. That's the way it's been done. But nowadays, man, it's like it's almost the same exact damn song. You just threw a verse in there, like, and you called it your song. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Big Poppy says,
Yeah, but we also
oh, go ahead.
before you go there,
Yeah.
but to combat that, we also had that back in the day, like,
Oh yeah.
like especially the mixtape era, like they weren't recreating nothing; they were just going on the song and putting their verse. It was just part of. I mean, to me, that's a creative idea, not creative idea, but that to me, that's a way to showcase your creativity because like think about how many people like especially like I mean I know I felt it and I don't even make music but it's like damn I wish I would have went on this song like this beat would have fit me perfectly even though I never made a song before so I can only imagine an artist like getting an opportunity to be like yo like what would my take of this song be so I don't know I enjoy when they just put a verse on a different song like it's almost like a remix you know you just can't call it a remix because I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
You know.
No, but I'm with you. I'm if you're remixing it or you're paying homage to it, I'm okay with that. But like, you haven't come up with an original thing in the whole song. Like that's my thing. Like, but if you want to, I mean, they remix the shit out of 100 songs, man, like over and over again. But it's just repetitive now. It's like the same stuff. Like you're grabbing the same songs and and you're just singing the hook, and it's like I don't know. I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying on that. Let's see. Big Poppy just had a note here. He says, I like IDK, although sometimes he comes off as sounding like someone else. I just see it as a generational thing. Maybe he can be the next up for a new generation. Fine. I'm okay. He just sounds just like Kanye. Like I don't know if you've heard him or heard of him or anything. If you listen to one or two of his songs, you're going to be like, oh, that's Kanye. Like that's exactly like, I liked his stuff. Don't get me wrong. I liked what he was doing, but I'm like, he sounds just like him. I can't shake it. I can't shake it in my brain. So that's all. It's interesting there.
I'm curious. I mean, this conversation and like the pre-Llama show conversation really got me thinking. Like, what is hip hop gonna look like in another 50 years? You know, like, will it still be a thing, or will it be kind of like like freestyle, like freestyle music, like how it had its time?
Yep.
But it eventually just kind of went away, and like the people who love it, But I don't see. I mean, obviously, hip hop's not gonna be that drastic. Is like it's gonna go away completely, but I mean, we've seen it already break into like some kind of subgenres. It's just like what I grew up on as hip hop, what you were coming up to as hip hop, and like what hip hop started originally. It really is losing that essence of like what made it so great. And that, like, for me, it needs to take a turn back to where the lyrical matters more. Obviously beats right now, there's still people right now, beats are prominent and beats are some of the sickest beats I've ever heard,
Yes,
but
yeah.
In terms of like lyrical content, like it has to get back to that for the art form that I love to stay relevant the way I would want it as a hip hop fan. But we could book in that there. That was a good conversation about it.
No, it was. But I will say you're right. Like like anyone who's lived it or studied it or listened to it, right? The 80s, some of the 80s stuff was trash. Straight up trash. And what I mean by that is like the beat was great. It was new, right? It was hip at the time, but like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and it's like some of that shit was so corny and so dumb, but it was the building blocks to something more complex, and the storytelling has gotten better, and the art form is better. So things get better over time, and they're supposed to change. But I want to be one of those people who don't sit back and go, you know what? It was better in my day. Like I don't want to be that guy, and I'm not. I like to I want to understand why something is catchy to somebody and not to me. But there's some newer songs and I'm like, damn, I really like this song, even if it's simple and stupid. Yeah. But I don't want to be that guy. Be like, in my day, it was the best hip hop ever. No, because there was some dumb shit like Daz Effects. In the 90s, that was our little broccoli or whatever fuck you want to call it. You know, they were like, unbuckle my shoe, keep it a do, happen brew. And like, fuck that. Like this, it was horrific.
I mean, in every era you're gonna find that. But just it just goes back to like the way content and things are being consumed and how much is getting put out. So there's another thing that I never really like keep in my head when I think about these, but with CDs, like there was a time gap in between drops. Now an artist can drop once a week, you know what I mean? Like Russ, you know, somebody dropping a song a week. That wasn't possible back then. So you had to drop your best shit and you had to really come correct. It was just a different time. Like again, technology like gave everybody an equal playing field, but in that everybody having an equal playing field, there's gonna be a lot of shit that just comes out, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, you could again with the podcasting, you could consider us like that, you know, like oh, you guys are just doing what everybody's doing. But again, our talent, at least I believe, our talent will definitely rise us to the top of what we're doing. But not everybody will. There's just gonna be people who a new podcast gets started every day. I started 2 last week.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. We know who this person is. There you go. It says freestyle was and is still the best. She's a freestyle head for sure.
Yeah, she loves.
I enjoy freestyle, man. I like freestyle music.
I just now.
I know it's dated. It's like disco. It's like the 70s shit. It's like you knew that was a point in time and that was it, and it's fun.
I always think like they need to like somebody needs to like bring it back. That's what I'm saying. Like if we're gonna bring stuff back, like especially as like, I mean, freestyle for. Obviously, I wasn't around then, but like my mom, being who my mom is, definitely educated me in the freestyle realm. But I mean, freestyle was for like brown people, black and brown people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, and to be honest, it was as hip hop as hip hop. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like the R&B, to me at least. I look at it. It was the R&B for like Puerto Ricans. I just feel like somebody needs to bring it back though.
It was the counter to the pop bubblegum shit that was getting dropped and played in clubs. This was for us, right? This was something different, and the vibe was different. So no, I'm with you, man. Like it's definitely has a
production fucking it holds up the production.
Oh, it does. The beats were clean. The transitions were clean.
Again, it makes you want to dance. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, all those songs are about fucking heartbreak. they're all sad ass songs, but the beat makes you want to get up and dance. And like, Gabe said it because again, everything we talked about today, we talked about in the pre-llama, which is hilarious because we didn't even plan on talking about this. And same thing with the pre-llama, we didn't even plan on talking about, but. You know, he was joking around how he's like, man, when freestyle comes on, you see all the old heads like, hey, yo, no, back in the day, I was in my Honda Civic listening to this. Like, it just brings people joy when freestyle music comes on.
Yeah, it's a time capsule, man. It's a point in time that you remember. And
we gotta throw a blackout. We gotta throw a blackout freestyle party. I think that would be nice.
Oh, that would be fun, man. That would be fun as hell. You can play Little Diamond Girl.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, Diamond Girl.
Yes.
Even though that song has a really bad meaning, from what I hear. Hercules Outlaw says, sorry I'm late, brothers. Got a big day at the range tomorrow, so I've been prepping before we go on vacay this week.
Hey, all good, brother.
No worries. What you know about this young blood?
Exactly. No. Shout out Herc, he dropped the video, man. It was dope to see again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he dropped the video. It was, we were talking about how Honey did this.
It's a good week. It's a good week, man. Like you guys put out content. Hercules put out content. I was happy I got mine out. So like it's been a good week. So what we'll do is we'll end the show just kind of again. What do you have planned? What do you have planned this week? When are your drops this week?
I don't know. It's the same every week, dude.
Tuesday?
Yeah. We'll do Tuesday. Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern will be the late night with AD and J Birdie. We'll drop on the YouTube Blackout GG. And then Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern will be the pre-llama show. Again, Bird brought it up, and maybe I should explain it here, but the pre-llama show will be recorded every Sunday before the llama show. we just drop it on Wednesday because I wanted to put it after the late night. I just wanted to give us multiple things on the YouTube channel during the week. So
no, that's fine.
I just
That's
put it
fine.
behind that.
So if you miss the pre-Llama show on Sundays, right, you can catch a replay.
Today we did it early, but we usually do it around 6 p.m. Eastern. I guess 4 p.m. my time. But yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern. For the most part, we'll do it.
So if you don't catch the pre-Llama show on Twitch, right? That's where you broadcast.
Both of them are streamed on Twitch.
Okay.
And then we bring them over.
Got it. So it'll be on the YouTube channel, blackout.gg or blackout.gg, and you'll be able to see it on Wednesday, the replay of the pre-Llama show. And then Tuesdays, 4 p.m., the drop every single week. You got the late night with Birdie and AD show. Great show, by the way. Again, if you want to, definitely an adult show. If you want a different perspective on things and enjoy time with the Bird and AD, it is a whole different show. Lots of fun. So do check that out. Again, Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're here every Sunday night with the Big Llama show. And then during the week, you'll have a movie reaction from me. Again, I will if you catch me on Twitter and social media, you'll know when I'm dropping new content. But definitely go and subscribe to the Big Llama show to support the channel. This is Hercules says, I'm watching all that content. Yeah, Herc actually commented on the video, so I was like, oh, that's good. Thanks, Herc. All right, well, that's our show tonight. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat. I want to thank everybody for tonight. Thank you for coming. Again, Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Big Llama show with Blackout AD. We are here every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll join us next week. We'll be back. And peace out, everybody. We'll see you.
Later.